Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Joten luen tuon englanniksi. Onko täällä jotain, joka ei osaa englantia? Sen verran, että kaikki nyt osaa sen verran. So I have been given a talk of a series of Krishna killing different demons, and this is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's description of different demons that came to Vrindavan to kill Krishna, and they represent different anarthas, things in our spiritual life. Is there, by the way, anybody who is here for the first time in the temple is welcome. But you already know about Krishna, so and Krishna consciousness. So there are some 22 demons that are described in this way, and now we are in demon number 12 only. So halfway there, and the number 12 is called Pralambasura. So Krishna killed Pralambasura demon, and Pralambasura represents lusty inclination and desire for personal gain and honor. So Krishna, Balaram, and the other every day they went to the forest of cows, and they got, so to say, they were playing games with each other, and they were herding cows. Well, it looks like usually the cows they are just uh, staying there in the forest, eating grass, while Krishna and Balaram and the other boys they are having fun with each other. So usually there are two different parties which are competing with each other, uh, and the boys they are usually choosing which cowherd boys are going to be in my party and which cowherd boys are left for the other party. So it's a tendency that Krishna is being chosen the last, because it appears that usually when Krishna is on one party, that's more likely that party is going to lose the game. So and so they were choosing their group members. And there's no description of what kind of battle they had, maybe wrestling or something like that, pulling rope. And lo and behold, uh, Krishna's party lost this time. Oh, I forgot to mention there was one new boy there. Pralambasura had disguised himself as a cowherd boy, and he went amongst the other cowherd boys there. And Krishna noticed that he knew that this new boy, he was a demon, and he was already thinking how to kill him. But he didn't say anything at first. He just welcomed Pralambasura. That very good that you have come. Please join us. Let us have some fun here. So Pralambasura ended up being on the same side as Krishna. And as Krishna's side, they lost. So the losing party, they had to carry the winning party participants on their shoulders. So, so Krishna had to carry somebody, and also Balaram. He was thinking how to kill Krishna and Balaram. So Pralambasura, he was carrying Balaram on his shoulders, and then they had to carry them around. But Pralambasura, he was determined to take Balaram out of the scene. He was just running away from the other cowherd boys further and further in the forest. But Balaram is quite heavy. So Pralambasura was getting a little bit exhausted, and because of that, he wasn't able to keep his disguised form any longer. So he assumed his original form. So he grew bigger. He was a big-bodied demon and a golden helmet, armlets, and sharp teeth, like the demons usually they have fangs and whatever sharp teeth. So Balaram was all of a sudden he was wondering, why is my carrier, why he has changed so much. So then Balaram realized that this is not actually a cowherd boy, this is a demon. So he hit the demon in the head with his fist, and Pralambasura died. So he was finished. But when Krishna or Balaram they kill somebody, those persons they get benefited. So Pralambasura represents like a desire to enjoy gross and subtle sex life. They are seemingly enjoyable. They seem to be our friends. These impositions in the mind. They promise us happiness, fun time, and excitement and fulfillment of desires, but they are actually obstacles in our spiritual path. I mean, it definitely feels nice if somebody says nice words about you, praises you, and then you feel very, very much on the top of the world. But they make us think that we are something great. They help us to forget Krishna and supremacy of Krishna and our loving devotional service towards Krishna. Uh, Therefore, anybody who is a guru, they get a lot of praises, so they are in a little bit dangerous position. Uh, like one time, Srila Prabhupada noticed that his disciples had served him very nicely. They had made a very gorgeous looking Vyasasan for him. Vyasasan, you sit on it, and, being praised, getting Mahaprasadam, and everybody serves you. So Prabhupada, when he saw this Vyasasan, he had a little bit of anxiety. I think he was shedding a tear from his eye, and he simply said that I am accepting this Vyasasan on behalf of my Guru Maharaj. So he was passing it up to his own spiritual master. His own spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he also made a statement that those who praise me are my enemies. And, so in order us to learn from that, it's good to keep a humble position, even though we might have some big position to be praised in such a way. So Brahmasura, he was killed by Balaram, and there was another demon who was killed by Balaram. Anybody remembers? We had already, it's been a long time when I gave that class. Dhenukasura is the ass demon. So Dhenukasura represents gross material intelligence and ignorance of spiritual knowledge. And Pralambasura represented lusty inclination. Or a desire for personal gain or honor. So these are kind of similar things. And Balaram, he represents Guru, the spiritual master. And spiritual master is first of all helping us to get rid of these inclinations. Just like we take an initiation, we vow to follow some regulated principles in order to remove strong obstacles from our spiritual path. So Balaram represents Guru, and Guru helps us. It's said that we are tied in this material world with the three modes of material nature. Guna means a rope which ties us, and these gunas, sattva guna, raja guna, tama guna, goodness, passion, and ignorance. We are tied with these ropes in this material world, and the spiritual master is said to because he is free from these modes. so he can liberate us also. But we have to do our part. It is said that the Guru gives us scissors, and but we have to be willing to cut ourselves from the influence of these gunas. And from Guru, we get all kinds of different tasks where he gives us orders to do some things for our spiritual elevation. And with the with the order comes Shakti also, power. If he orders us to do something, there's also a blessing that we are able to do that, but we just have to follow the order of the Guru. Yeah. So we can get rid of uh, unfavorable things for our spiritual life. Yeah, there are many examples, especially regarding to Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada could see from the person, when he was talking to a person, he could immediately see what this person is all about. And he was uh, always saying the exact right words, what that person needed to hear. Um, One of his disciples once, he was trying to take a very humble position, and he said to Srila Prabhupada that uh, I am the most fallen. I need the mercy most. I am the most fallen. But Srila Prabhupada simply replied that you are not the most anything. So the word most is very significant there. So we always try to be the most of something. Somebody try to be the most fallen, needing mercy of the Guru. Uh, so gurus, they are also known as sadhu, saintly person. Sadhu means to cut. Sadhu cuts our material pride, cuts our unfavorable things. Actually, sadhu, they have two kinds of jobs there. One is to, I already said that they distress the comfort and they comfort the distressed. Because material world creates all kind of distressful situations. So the sadhu is giving spiritual knowledge to people so they can rise above the influence of the material existence, and in this way understand their original uh, identity as spiritual beings. Uh, and in this material world, we are seeing everything as we were in the movie. But we have a tendency to identify with our role in that movie so much that these troublesome situations, they affect on us, and can sometimes ask a question: what if I die here? I mean, death is 100% chance. We cannot avoid death, but since we identify ourselves with the material body, we think that that's very horrible. But in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna assures that just like a person who is changing clothes from worn out clothes to new clothes, and similarly we change bodies. And a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So sadhus are helping us to understand about our spiritual existence, our spiritual identity. And then if sadhu sees somebody being very happy in the material world, so so he cuts the pride of such a person, and it hurts a little bit. Um, Just like we had a story already about two sons of Kuvera, Manikriva and Nalakuvara. They were so much enjoying in the spiritual, I mean, in the heavenly planets, and they didn't notice that Narada Muni was coming. Narada Muni is a sadhu, and he immediately, it is said in the chapter that he helped these poor kids trying to enjoy the material existence, so that he cursed them. And then they came to their senses. So they got the blessing also. So the materialists, they try to enjoy this world, and I heard there was a sticker you can put on your car. This was in America, and then the sticker said that the one who gets the most toys in the end wins. So this is definitely uh, indicating to somebody who has a materialistic successful life and is getting all kinds of material goodies. So this desire for material, for recognition, is very deeply rooted in our hearts. It's so subtle that we hardly notice them. Uh, but just as Pralambasura killed, and Balaram killed Pralambasura, so if we stay in association with devotees and keep our target or our goal very uh, nicely visible for us, it is to develop love for Krishna. Then, as it is said that some in Bhagavatam, that if somebody practices uh, loving devotional service to the Lord, then all the qualities of heavenly beings, they automatically start to manifest. All right, now we can take another demon number 13. Uh, we already we're talking about the forest fire in Vrindavan, which was about to consume all the cowherd boys and cows. But there's a second forest fire. Well, Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boys, they were playing in a forest. The cows were eating grass. So they can't, cows cannot eat grass in one spot forever. They, they were allured by some fresh grass which they saw a little bit further in the forest. So they roamed around away from the cowherd boys, and all of a sudden there was another forest fire, and they started to move very loudly in anxiety. And then finally, the cowherd boys, they noticed that their cows are gone. So, so they started to call them. Krishna was calling the cows by their names, and then the cows heard that, and then they were very uh, joyfully moving back. That okay, move, here we are, come and save us. So Krishna and cowherd boys, they started to follow the footprints of the cows, and when they got there, the forest fire was going on. But again, Krishna just swallowed the fire, and everything was good. So the second forest fire represents disturbance of religious principles and interference with religious people who are atheists. Um, so Krishna takes care of his devotees. It is said that the movement of Krishna's devotees cannot be destroyed from outside. but from inside. And um, this kind of atheistic nature may cause some kind of quarreling amongst the devotees. So it might create some disturbance in the devotee society, or if somebody is not following the regulated principles, and then that might also be an obstacle there. It is said that dharma protects one who protects the dharma. Dharma of the sugar is to be sweet, dharma of the water is to be wet, and dharma of the living being is to serve. And we are in this connection, we are talking about Sanatana Dharma, the eternal Dharma, eternal object of service is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we give up this kind of dharma, then dharmena hina pashupi samana. So if we are giving up this kind of dharma, then we are on the same level as the animals. Like it is mentioned that the animals, they do same things as human beings. They eat, they sleep, they defend themselves, and then they have a sex life. So, but animals, they cannot understand spiritual topics. They cannot ask their own about their own existence. Well, there might be some exceptions, like in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned Bharat Maharaj, he became attached to a deer, but in his deer body, he even remembered his previous life, and instead of he practiced austerity, even instead of eating fresh, very tasty leaves from the trees, he was eating very dry leaves. And he used to go to the places where there are discussions about spiritual topics. In the forest, there were sadhus, so he went there to hear the classes. And we can see sometimes, even in our temple, you can see some very curious birds which are sometimes looking in from the window. They would have a desire to come in, and we can a little bit understand that maybe that was a sadhu who fell down. And in Mayapur, I spent a lot of time in India, in Sri Ram Mayapur, and I used to be the part of the daily Harinam team there. We were going around with the cart, with the sound system, and we would sing Hare Krishna all over Mayapur. And sometimes there was one particular dog who started to follow us, and he couldn't pronounce the Maha Mantra very nicely, but he tried to sing with us. And you could hear him howling, "Ooh," and he would follow us for some time. And so probably he or she was also remembering his past life. Um, then the very related topic to this particular incident is like we have a book by Srila Rupa Goswami called Nectar of Instruction, and then there are listed some obstacles for our spiritual path. And one of the obstacles is called Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha can refer to two things. It can refer to somebody who is loose with their regulated principles, and we have lots of examples of that. Like for example, in the early days in the ISKCON movement, Srila Prabhupada was recommending the devotees to eat only Krishna prasadam. And sometimes some devotees were too much attached to donuts. But they didn't get donuts in the temple, so they went to a donut shop. Now actually, I was in New York some years ago, and there were different donut shops. But there was also a donut shop by devotees, and that's called Donut Plant. If you ever go to New York, you can go to a donut plant, donut shop. The owner even has a Gornitai deities in the kitchen, so he's offering the donuts to Gornitai, and then he's selling them. But this time it wasn't still there. It wasn't yet there, and Prabhupada was once walking past the donut shop, and he was actually seeing his devotees there, and the devotees they tried to under the table, and from that springs the Prabhupada's statement that my devotees eat any damn thing. So, it's just example of taking regulated principles a little bit loosely. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can do a little bit, but don't do too much. But as there's a saying, uh, the devil give a devil a small finger, he takes the whole hand. So it's good to be very careful with these things. So, but another aspect of Niyamagraha is taking regulated principles too strictly. So strictly that you actually lose the sight of the purpose of following those regulated principles. You lose the sight of the goal, which is Krishna. So all the reason for following the regulated principles is culminating to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. But sometimes some very strict individuals, they are following the regulated principles so strictly that they might even see somebody around them that are not following the regulated principles, and they start to criticize such devotees. Or well, if you follow so strictly and you lose the sight of Krishna, then it might like a counter attack that if you're following very strictly, then you might be still have some seed of enjoying that particular thing in the material world, and then uh, you might lose your strictness, and just it hits like a bomb that that you cannot restrict yourself anymore, but you have to just go after your desires. Um, so there's a good to understand a little bit of a balance, be truthful for where you're at, and progress from that situation. And about this kind of strictness, losing the sight of the goal in Krishna, we are actually talking about in the next chapter, which is called the Brahmana's wives blessed. Where the Brahmanas were gathering all kinds of paraphernalia for fire sacrifice, and then Krishna and Balaram with the cowherd boys, they wanted to ask some fruits because they were hungry, and then uh, then the Yagya Brahmanas, they just sent the cowherd boys away don't disturb us, our yagya is about to happen, and that they lost the goal of their actual yagya to satisfy Krishna. Um, the famous story about Pandavas, Yudhishthira was very strictly following religious principles, but it happened in Mahabharata at the end of the war, Mahabharata war. Krishna asked Yudhishthira to lie that Aswathama is dead, Aswathama, Dronacharya's son, so that Dronacharya would become weak, and then the opponent party, the Pandavas, could kill Dronacharya. But Yudhishthira wasn't able to lie because he was very much following Dharma. So he followed Dharma over the Paradharma, which is to do whatever Krishna tells you to do. So therefore, that's another example of following rules and regulations too strictly. And Yudhishthira had to see hell after that because of that incident. So sarva dharma parityajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva pavebhyo mokshayisyami ma sucha. Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita that abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. This is the highest dharma, and I will save you from all kinds of sinful reactions. Do not fear. So in this case, Yudhishthira didn't follow that instruction, and he got a reaction for that. Okay, thank you very much. It's about time. I can ask if there is some questions or comments.
Hare Krishna. You kind of indicated that it's not important to follow strictly. Was it so?
Not really like that, but don't lose the goal of your why you are following. Don't forget that. That was the point.
To know why you're doing whatever you're doing.
Hmm?
To know what.
To know the goal. Keep the goal inside why you are doing what you are doing. Because some who are following strictly, they lose the sight. Why are they following strictly? They just follow strictly just because, on the sake of following strictly rules and regulations.
Isn't that kind of blind following? They don't know what they're doing. They're just blindly following it.
Yeah, you could say that. Well, I think it depends on an individual. I'm sure that somebody who is following strictly rules and regulations knows what they are doing, but uh, and they have a reason for it, just to follow the regulated principles. But I think blind following refers to one level more ignorant following. Simply accepting everything without thinking, but we should have. I'm sure that those who are following strictly, they are thinking that this is good for that and this is good for this. That's why I'm following them. They have a reason to follow. But blind following refers to something you just accept that blindly, that somebody says something. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, that we need to come to know.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same point what you were emphasizing here, that maybe sometimes these people can become very bright, like a lot of pride comes from that we are, following all the regulations and rules so nicely, and I'm better than you because you are not doing so nicely, maybe. So maybe that can also cause an effect, if we are so strict, like, I don't know, like, how to express it maybe, but
Yeah, definitely that indicates to that subtle sex life, wanting to be, somebody who wants to be praised. Mm, that was represented by Pralambasura.
Right.
Just one thing. One time, someone was mentioning to Srila Prabhupada about becoming an advanced devotee. And said, Srila Prabhupada said, don't try to become an advanced devotee, just try to become a devotee.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a little bit similar to the to be most fallen or most something.
Like, I want to ask on the thing you said, like Yudhishthira didn't follow the Krishna's advice. Like, I have studied, like, read in Mahabharata that they killed the elephant named the Ashwatthama, and Yudhishthira transcribed it in Sanskrit and said, like, what is the true thing in that? I just wanted to clarify that.
What is the true?
Like, to kill Ashwatthama,
Yeah.
like Krishna suggested him to like kill the Ashwatthama named elephant, and then Yudhishthira said it in Sanskrit language that they have killed the Ashwatthama. Right.
Yeah, I didn't tell the story until the end. It ended up being that to make Yudhishthira say that Aswatthama is dead, they had to kill one elephant whose name was Aswatthama. And then he was actually saying, Aswatthama, the elephant is dead. And when he was saying the elephant, Krishna and whoever was blowing conchs so that nobody could hear the elephant word. Then they heard that Aswatthama is dead. So that's how it happened. Yeah. Good. Okay, I think we can end up here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki